long y'all been making music and shit though?
Shit, making music, I ain't gonna lie. I started like...
You was like 2016, 2017?
Like, real shit. I started making music like right after you left Southern.
Yeah. I started the first year of Southern, so about 2014.
Yeah, I remember your shit. You was making music when I met you, I think.
Yeah. And see, at first I really wasn't even gonna rap at first. Like, I ain't gonna lie, he know. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't confident in my rap voice.
Motherfucker was like, I ain't got a rapper voice, dude.
Yeah,
like what the fuck is a rapper voice?
Like I said,
man, hey, it's bars, man.
I used to listen to a lot of music, so you know, I always wanted to rap, but it was like I don't know, the music I was listening to, I'm like, I don't sound like this. So in my head, I'm thinking like, it ain't really gonna work. So like early on, like if I was to play my early music, like my 2014, you know, going into 2015, I kind of sound like, you know, like J. Cole, you know what I'm saying? Like you know, niggas like that. Like I was kind of mimicking my music.
Like you ain't find like your own flow type shit?
Yeah, but I had to keep fucking with it though, type shit. So, you know, early on, like the shit, you know, niggas was telling me the shit was cool, but I used to make a lot of remixes. So it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't me. Like I couldn't make hooks. Like, you know, making a verse, that shit would take me like forever. You know, the shit kind of easy now, but, you know, I think it just come from really fucking with the shit though. So much.
Remember that shit when we used to be in like, man, we shit writing verses just for no reason.
Yeah.
Motherfucker be like
that shit before too.
No, look, matter of fact, I wanted to rap.
Shit was wild.
I wanted to rap at mentorship. Like, cause at mentorship we had a studio. Niggas was making homemade videos. Like,
that bitch was a music industry.
That bitch was a
mentorship was the music industry.
Nigga, we'll be eating lunch. We'll be fucking eating lunch. Nigga on stage rocking. Now
nigga performing at lunch.
Performing at lunch type shit. And I wanted to do that.
School shit.
So that shit was crazy, man. Ninth graders, man, we were free dressed, man. I swear, they really was just like we was really guinea pigs like a motherfucker.
Cause like first,
let's put this school in the middle of downtown and see what happens.
It's like an experiment.
It was that's exactly what it was.
Social experiment type.
It's funny how the executive director is funny as fuck. Like he dropped in that bitch. We like, that's the principal. He like, nah, don't call me your principal. Call me your executive director. Man, that nigga like 10th grade. He was like, oh man, y'all doing fine.
Yeah, nigga ain't see that boy since.
I ain't see that boy at graduation.
What is
None
that?
of that shit. Shit. I think his shit was Dr. Dixon,
Dr.
bro.
Dixon, yeah. Dr. Dixon left. He abandoned us for real. Like,
he ain't abandoned, but I be looking for him. So I be like, man, shit, I wonder what he doing now type shit. Like he said he went to San Diego. Like that nigga was building schools in California.
That nigga abandoned it. That nigga say, hey, when I tell y'all, boy, man, we was really.
He was recruiting motherfuckers though. He was recruiting niggas though. He was on the prowl.
Man, mentorship was a fucking. That was a wild ass school, bro. Like.
Well, it's funny because niggas thought that bitch was an alternative school at first.
I don't even know what alternative stands.
You get expelled from your shit, you
Yeah.
go to another school, it's like, man, niggas thought like, oh shit, I'm just gonna go to mentorship. Like, nigga thought that bitch was like a detention center or something.
Like don't they got one called Valley Park or some shit?
Yeah, that's what they thought that shit was. Like, they're like, man, you go to Valley Park or you go to mentorship, some shit like that. This is like a charter school.
Hey, y'all feel like to make it out of BR, you gotta do make a certain sound of music? Like shit gotta be like about killing and shit.
I don't. And see that's more like what I started to feel like coming up listening to music. Cause when I started listening to music, I ain't really like music. Cause like my brother, that nigga be it was music overload coming up. Like with the tapes, he making a 2003 mix on a CD. He making a 2005, a 7, a 8, and he got a big ass book.
So you like, I'm tired of hearing music.
I'm tired of hearing music, dick. Like all types of shit. So by the time I really started listening to my own music, you know what I'm saying? It started to change. Like, man, T.I., it used to be T.I., Kanye, Ludacris was like my top 3.
Luda went hard. That nigga Luda went hard.
I used to like Big Sean. I used to fuck with Big Sean.
Bro, like, I'm talking about like coming up though. You get what I'm saying? Then like when Big Sean dropped, like Cole, like all that shit.
Y'all
like
niggas used to wear snapbacks and shit.
Oh yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I used to have all the snapbacks. Like not all, but like nigga, when they was like snapbacks cool. Oh yeah.
Hey, I always tell this Drake story, bro. It's funny. I always tell this Drake story. This shit crazy. Motherfucker was bumping Best I Ever Had the whole summer. Like I'm rapping that.
Going
bitch.
into freshman year? No, going in 8th grade, huh?
Yeah, like I think I was in 7th going to 8th.
One of them, yeah, some shit.
Man, I'm bumping that shit all summer on the fucking MP3 players and shit.
Yeah.
I got that shit, man. Son, I used to make recordings when it was on the radio. If I ain't catch it, if my little shit was whack, like I start glitching up, I'm like, fuck it. So I'm bumping that bitch all summer. I know the song. Man, I'm playing the radio at night going to sleep. I'm like, the song came on. But at the same time, they got a Degrassi marathon going on TV, right?
So why you bumping Drake, the nigga on
Why
TV?
I'm bumping Drake? That's why I don't even fucking know. So I'm watching this goddamn marathon. And I'm like, nigga, this is like when the episode with Jimmy got popped, you heard me? Like, Cuz come to school with the bullshit. They like, oh, it's a new guy.
I never seen the episode.
Man, son, Cuz had school shooter all over him, son. He did. First he come friendly.
He was the school shooter?
He shot Jimmy. Of course he was the fucking school shooter.
Oh no, yeah, Drake the one that got shot.
Yeah.
They put that nigga in the wheelchair.
Man,
I wasn't really in tune.
Did him dirty, bro.
I wasn't in tune with what is Degrassi?
That shit was like a Canadian. It was a Canadian show, like real shit. And it's funny because like, dog, I'm watching that shit.
It was based in Canada.
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
like I'm on this shit. I'm like, man,
they're American.
I always wanted to see it, and they let me watch it from the beginning. And I'm like, damn, this shit real. So by the time that episode come, man, Jimmy playing basketball, he rapping and shit. He got legs. He rapping for the talent show and shit. I'm like, man,
he got legs.
I'm fucking with Jimmy. I'm fucking with Jimmy. I'm steady bumping Best I Ever Had, dog. I'm like, yeah, like in real life. Why I see this nigga on the BET Awards with like a boot on his leg, rapping the song. I say, I'm like, I'm tripping. Like, nigga, this is Jimmy. I was like,
oh, you ain't know that was him.
I ain't know that was him. I'm like, this is Jimmy. Like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, you ain't know
doing?
Jimmy was Drake.
I ain't know Jimmy was Drake. I'm like, man, what the fuck?
Oh, man.
I'm in this bitch really sitting. I'm like, man, nah, bro. He just singing that nigga song. Like, who is Drake? That's oh God.
You thought he was an imposter?
Oh, I thought that nigga was an imposter. So I go back to watching this shit. He in the wheelchair. I'm like, nah, is that this nigga? Damn. Like, dead ass, is this him? Man, I'm like, damn, I watched the motherfucking the credits and shit. Harvey Graham, I'm like, man, this is Drake. Man, son, I just was on this shit ever since. Cause I'm like, man, damn, like I ain't know this nigga act like, man, it's Jimmy. I'm listening to Jimmy, nigga. Like Jimmy finally turned up. They was saying this shit was whack on the show.